Super Elite Boxing News. We're excited tonight to have one of Connecticut's newest, latest, hottest promoters in the studio tonight, known as AJ Galante. AJ, welcome to the studio, my brother.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Excellent, excellent. Now, you are the founder of a new promotional label in the state of Connecticut called Prize Promotions, and you're making some noise.
I hope so.
Now, you definitely making some noise because everybody's talking about Prize Promotions. As a matter of fact, everyone's talking about your big inaugural event that's going to be taking place May 30th at the Danbury Arena in Danbury, Connecticut, which is actually your hometown. You have an action-packed card taking place May 30th. I went through the list of fighters that you have, and let me tell you, it's action-packed. And a lot of people are excited about it. A lot of people are talking about it. And I, myself, expect for the arena to be packed out.
I hope so. I believe so. You know, like you said, we put together a hell of a show. And you know, you only get one chance at a first impression. And it's my first show. And what can you say? I mean, top to bottom, I was telling someone yesterday, it's almost impossible to have an upset because I feel like every fight is 50-50. And that's not a knock on anybody in particular, but it's just every fight is action-packed, every fight is competitive, and that's what I'm all about.
Excellent. And on that card you have a couple of Connecticut superstars, which I think is amazing because you know you have established a stage or an establishment to promote local talent. You know, professional fighters who don't get an opportunity to get exposure. You have Nate the Great One Green, you have Oscar Bonilla, you have who else do you have?
We have Josh Crespo.
Josh Crespo, pretty boy.
Pretty boy. I heard he's the best looking Connecticut boxer.
The best looking.
Yeah, Josh Crespo, who I'm really excited about. I don't think his record speaks for who he is as a fighter. I've done a lot of research on him. I think he might be the fight of the night. I mean, he's unbelievable to watch, and it's a great platform for him. Of course, you know, like you said, we have Oscar Bonilla, who's all action, going places. He's got a tough fight on his hands, but I think it says something for him to take a fight like that. We have Nate Green, obviously, huge test for him. You know, again, the fact that these guys are taking these fights are showing me who they are, and I think we're gonna grow something special here because these guys have no fear, and that says something. And of course, main event, return of Tremaine Williams, who I'm really excited about, giving him a second chance. I know he's hungry. He's been chomping at the bit. So this is a huge opportunity for him as well. And again, I haven't signed any of these guys. I don't intend on signing anybody to my promotion company. I'm just looking to promote the sport. You know, amazing, a promoter that wants to promote the sport. That's what I want to do, and I want to give these guys a platform to go on to bigger and better things. And like you said, in this state, give these guys an opportunity that's not always available to them.
Excellent. So, May 30th, Danbury Arena, action-packed card. Can you tell us the name of a couple of the other fighters that you have?
Sure. I mean, I can't forget a couple of the debuts we have. A kid named Fly Mike Marshall, who I'm really excited about. Amateur standout out of New York, out of the Bronx. What I like about Danbury, where I'm from, is we're so close to New York and all the major cities in Connecticut. So it's almost like a central hub, and I wanted to bring in some New York guys like Mike Marshall, who will be his debut fight. He's a light heavyweight. His favorite fighter was James Toney. I think he's got a lot of James Toney in him. Very quick, strong, personality-wise, could probably sell out the place without throwing a punch. He's great. This is a great. I'm happy to give him this opportunity too, because I know another guy who's hungry. And that's like the constant thing you're going to hear about me is I look for guys who are hungry, who want to put on a show, looking for an opportunity. And Mike Marshall's definitely. I'm really looking forward to you know, solidifying an opponent for him, and he's ready to go. We got a debut, a kid out of Las Vegas named Mike Rue by way of Columbus, Ohio. Mike's actually, I've known Mike for a few years and dealing in professional boxing. He used to be an amateur standout. He's been boxing on and off, has had trouble getting a debut fight, and I'm looking forward to give him his debut.
Excellent.
And I know he's an out-of-towner, but I have faith in him. I think he could be something, so why not give him an opportunity? And hope I'm not forgetting anybody. We got so many fights. But
I know you mentioned earlier that you have a Brazilian fighter.
Sure. Oh, I can't forget Richie Neves out of Long Island area. And Richie, I know Richie through the New York fight scene. You know, I currently manage Frank Galarza, junior middleweight, and Frank actually fought Richie, and it was a good fight. Frank ended up getting the better of it and winning the fight, but I was impressed by the way Richie fought. I think he's an underrated fighter. He's 8-2. And again, an opportunity for him to, again, keep fighting, taking on a tough opponent in Gilbert Alex Sanchez out of Camden, New Jersey. That's going to be an all-action fight. What I like about this fight is it gives Richie an opportunity to fight a good, a good level of opposition, but at the same time grow his fan base. He is Brazilian. We have an extremely large Brazilian population in Danbury, and again, it gives. I'm trying to help everyone in some way, and this is going to bring a lot of attention to his name. I know a lot of the Portuguese Brazilian population back home, when they found out that I have a Brazilian fighter on the card, they're already buying tickets. They're excited. I'm looking to make it like the World Cup in there. They're very passionate people. So, I
they're
think
come in there with their horns.
I hope so. I hope they do that. We like to bring the noise, and it's going to give Richie an opportunity to gain a fan base, and that's great. And it gives a certain population demographic where I'm from a chance to get excited about something, and I'm really excited about it. And it's not official yet, but we did just sign to fight for us, who I think can be a world champion down the line, a Dominican, out of the Dominican Republic. He's living in Newburgh, New York right now, Wellington Arias Romero, who fights under Rock Nation. Rock Nation and Wellington's manager was gracious enough to let me have him on the card. They were looking to get him a fight. So, I mean, for a small club level show, you got arguably 3-4 main events on the show. It was hard for me to pick a main event. People kept asking me, well, who's your main event? And it ended up being Tremaine, one, because it's arguably the most competitive matchup, but also just the buzz for him coming back. And I know he's made mistakes in the past, and I'm really looking forward to being the one, because I mean, a lot of guys weren't really looking to give him a chance. He made a mistake. He did what he had to do. He took it like a man, did what he had to do, accounted for it, and I think it could have been the best thing for him. And now, I mean, that's a future world champion if he could keep it together.
Absolutely, and let me tell you, it's honorable that you have granted him a second chance. I think everyone is deserving of a second chance.
Absolutely. And
Tremaine Williams is a very talented and gifted fighter, and he brings a lot of fire and heat in the ring. And come May 30th, I believe he's going to shine.
Well, I agree. It's just like you said, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody, and especially young kids. I mean, you're talking about an amateur sensation. I know he just missed going to the Olympics. Signed pro,
top rank.
Top rank right out of amateurs, 8-0 under a year and a half. I mean, he was on the fast track, and maybe, things happen for a reason. So maybe he was put in positions he needed to be to pump the brakes. So I'm just excited to give him a second chance. I want him to succeed. I sat with him, I looked him in the eye, and I asked him if he was ready to get serious, and he said yes. So no-brainer. I want him on the card. I think he represents what I'm, as a promotion company, looking to build.
Excellent. Excellent. Now, it's 22 days, 5 hours, 30 minutes, 51 seconds away from the big fight night. Your presentation promoting this event has been amazing. From your tickets to your posters to your website, to everything that you have posted on social media, all the way down the pipe has been stupendous. I mean, you're doing a great job, and it's very admirable, especially you being a young promoter. I mean, you have experience as a manager, but you're new on the scene as a promoter.
Well, look, you're only as good as your team. And honestly, I have a great team behind me. My director of marketing and operations is a woman named Michelle Rosado, nicknamed Raging Babe, big in the boxing community. She's been my right-hand woman, and she's really helped me do all this. And she really deserves most of the credit for the designs. And I know I'm a pain in the neck. I'm very OCD in particular, but she's been able to deal with me and able to really put together this. We have a great graphic designer, Big Mike, out of I believe the Arizona area, and he's unbelievable. And we just have a great team. And you know what? I believe in doing things with class. And sometimes you gotta spend a little money that maybe you don't want to. Some nights I go to bed and say, oh, I spent this much on a ticket design. But I believe in old school, taking pride in what you do. I believe what you present is what you get back. And I want people to be excited. This is a small club show, but I want it to feel like the fight we just saw last week, at least locally. I want people to get excited, and I want people to come back, and I want fighters to say, hey, I want to fight for the, under that banner, even if it's one time.
Yes.
So that's what I'm looking to do.
Well, I mean, everyone's talking about your event. Everyone's excited. It's going to be a great night of boxing. You guys that are watching right now, you can go on to www.prizepromotion.net and get your tickets. They're reasonably priced, and we encourage you to, especially you Connecticut residents, come out, show your support to all our local talent that are from the state of Connecticut, because it's going to be a great night of boxing. We're going to take a break real quick, but when we come back from the break, we're going to talk about your past experience in the, the sport of boxing. How did you get started, and etc. Great, excellent. We'll be right back in a minute.
Hartford Boxing Center, in association with Dressler Law, presents the 2015 Hartford Boxing Championship, Saturday, May 16th at Belizzi Middle School, Hartford. Doors open at 5 and action starts at 6. Sanctioned by USA Boxing. $20 tickets benefit Hartford Boxing Center. Kids under 10 free. Live music, raffles, food, and rumble at the gym. Ticket info at hartfordboxingcenter.com. About subject to change.
Welcome back to Super Elite Boxing News. Again, we're here with no other than Connecticut's latest, hottest boxing promoter, Mr. AJ Galante, who runs Prize Promotion. AJ, we've been talking about your big event that's coming up May 30th at the Danbury Arena. You have a great action-packed card that's going to be taking place. I personally believe it should be something that should be aired on Showtime or HBO, because it's packed.
It's stacked, and we were talking about it before, and I knew I was going to forget somebody, because we got 9 matches, but Cassius Chaney,
yes,
recently signed with Main Events. A lot of potential, especially as a heavyweight, local kid out of New London, and I'm just really excited to watch him. I know he put on a show, his first fight back in, I believe it was Mohegan Sun last month. So I'm really excited to have him on the card as well, and I'm grateful for Main Events giving us the opportunity.
Excellent. And I actually was present during his fight that took place at Mohegan, and he did an outstanding job. So I know he's going to bring the heat.
Yeah.
He's going to bring the heat. Now, my question to you is, how did you start off getting involved in the sport of boxing?
Well, it's very strange. It was just, I didn't grow up a boxing fan. I never boxed. I never was that interested in it. Of course, growing up playing video games, Mike Tyson.
Punch Out.
That was really, exactly. That was really my only earliest memory of the sport, was of course Tyson. But I wasn't really a boxing fan. I was into all other sports, which I still am. But what had happened was back in 2011. I was 23, 24 at the time. There's an ex-heavyweight, Fernelli Feliz, who actually fought John Ruiz at one point. Had a lot of promise, really good career. I knew him through business in the Danbury area, and he had taken on Delvin Rodriguez as a trainer. He was training him, and they were looking for management, they were looking for support, and Fernelli and I mean, I knew Fernelli, but we didn't really know each other like that, and he kind of reached out to me through a third party and wanted to see if there was an interest in me taking over Delvin's career as a manager. I thought he was out of his mind, to be honest with you.
And you were how old again?
I was 24.
Wow.
24. I mean, I mean, honestly, I thought they were all crazy. I thought he was nuts because I didn't know anything about boxing, number one. I didn't know what a manager did or didn't do in terms of boxing, and you know, he was really like, I gracefully said no in so many words to him at first, and he kept pressing me. He saw something in me. He liked the way I did things and how I don't know. He saw something in me, and to this day he always said I saw something in you, that you could do something. So he kept pressing me, and you know what? 24 years old, living at home. You know, I don't have any kids or anything like that. So I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go.
Great
for
opportunity.
It. So I met with him and Delvin, and you know, we talked. We came up with an agreement, and I was with Delvin from his first Paul Wallach match, which was the fight of the year in 2011, named by Sports Illustrated, a couple other places, and through the Cotto fight. So, you know, I got dropped into deep waters, you know, from the start. I mean,
He was in the frying pan.
Yeah, but that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, that I learned a lot. I thought I did a good job, and some things I would have done maybe differently, but I thought overall we did a good job as a team. And you know, through that situation, I met Frank Galarza, who was, when I met him, he was 6-0-1, I believe, and instantly there was something about Frank from when I first met him. He had this personality that, if you don't like Frank Galarza on a personal level, I have to question you, not Frank, because this guy is a guy who you can't, it's almost impossible not to like the guy. And I met him, I saw his work ethic, the hunger inside of him, and almost immediately we came up with a deal. And we've been together 10 fights now. He's 17-0-2, number 26 in the WBC, junior middleweight. Coming off a big Showtime main event win, his first Showbox main event.
Excellent.
So he's on his way, and I'm really looking forward to what's next for him. And so that's, you know, the management part. And you know, for years I was always intrigued by the promotion side of it. And to be honest with you, how I do things as a manager is almost like being a promoter. Like how I go a little above and beyond. And I kept telling myself, you know what, I'm just going to do the promoter thing one day, but still follow the Muhammad Ali acts and all that. I'm not going to promote and manage my same guy. I'm not looking to do any shady dealings like that. I keep both very separate. Like I said, as Price Promotions, I'm looking to just throw shows on and give guys opportunities.
Excellent.
And put on good fights. And I'm not signing anybody. And I think when you don't have anybody signed, it gives you freedom to make the type of competitive matchups that we've made for this show.
Yes.
Because a lot of opponents know, oh well, who's your guy? Who am I going up? Oh, I'm going to be the B side. I don't believe in all that A side, B side stuff. I want A and A side. You know what I mean? So I think I was able, not just me. I have Hall of Fame matchmaker Russell Peltz.
Yes, you do.
Brittany Bam Rogers. I got two great. I got a Hall of Fame matchmaker, and I got a girl who's younger than me, who's been doing boxing longer than me, who may be in the Hall of Fame one day. I just got a great team, and that's who I want to surround myself with. Old school, a mix of old school and new school, and you know, we've just, honestly, I was looking at the card coming up here, and I was just like, this is an unbelievable show. Just competitive wise, I mean, it is a TV type thing, and
Definitely is.
hopefully this sets the bar for other people to do likewise.
Excellent. So now I was reading your biography, your description of you, who you are, and there was an indication on there that you were involved in the sport of hockey.
Yes.
Tell us a little about that.
Again, I didn't. Another weird thing how I got into hockey. I mean, I grew up in a family traditional basketball, baseball, football. You know, around here that's what it is. I mean, hockey's big now in this area, but I didn't grow up in a hockey family. You know, and where I'm from, there wasn't a lot of hockey. And my dad actually got tickets to go to an NHL game, New Jersey Devils once, against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'll never forget it. And I remember, I don't know how familiar you are with hockey. Hockey's not what it was.
I've been to one game.
Yes.
That was at the Garden.
Yeah, and I'll never forget, I was watching, I was probably 8 years old. No, 9 years old, 10 years old, and I went to a game and I fell in love with the sport. I loved the physicality of it. Lots of hits, you know, there was some fights, and I just fell in love with it. And, you know, I started playing locally, and I played exclusively through high school. I was a good player. I was a defenseman. I wasn't going to score, but I liked to hit, and that was where I came into it. So it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Hockey's not what it was. They took the physicality out of the game a little bit, which I understand. They're trying to help the health of these players, but I grew up with a different hockey than what it is now. But I still watch the sport here and there. The playoffs are on now. I'll catch a game. So
excellent. Now, what do you think is the division for 2015? What division you think is the hottest division for 2015?
I tell you what, I seem a little biased because of my dealings with Frank, but I love the junior middleweight division. I think that's the type of division you could have a big tournament in. You know, you got, especially with the younger guys, you know, you got Frank, you got kid Julian Williams, you have the Charlos, you have Austin Trout, you know, on and on and on. I mean, there's so much talent there. You know, again, this is a little ignorant on my part, but I deal with boxing so much on a regular basis. I wouldn't consider myself even a super fan of the sport. I can't rattle off names of different divisions and different guys in the division. I just deal with it so much on a regular basis that to grab my attention, again, I didn't grow up a fanatical boxing fan. I'm not the traditional hardcore boxing fan. So for me to turn a fight on, I have to really like the guy, like action guys. That's me. I mean, I know a lot of guys like the sweet science stuff. That's great. But for me to go out of my way to watch a fight that doesn't deal with me or anybody that I deal with personally, I have to really feel like I'm gonna get action out of it. Guys like, you know, I like guys like Canelo. I love Canelo.
Yep. Who's fighting actually this
James
Saturday?
Kirkland, another guy I like. So that I cannot wait for.
Who's your money on?
I like Canelo. I love Canelo. You know why? Because Canelo, the first time I watched Canelo was against Matthew Hatton. It was on HBO. That was before he became a real star. And there was something about him I just liked. Just like with Frank, there was something about him I liked. I've liked him. I think the fact that he's fought the guys he's fought at that age, he doesn't fear fighting anybody.
Absolutely.
And people, I mean, yeah, is he, you know, does he have some limitations in his game? Sure. Nobody's perfect. I think the problem with this sport is too many guys want to be superstars and too many fans want superstars. Back in the day, a superstar, I mean, we got Floyd Mayweather, that's a superstar. Manny Pacquiao, superstar, that's superstar. But it's okay to be just a regular star. See, the problem is you get fans who, if they have a loss or two on their record, it's like they're tarnished.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that.
Yeah.
That's what's a little frustrating for me. You know, it's like people only want to see undefeated record against undefeated record. Everyone is so enamored with that who's always got to go type of thing. But I love Canelo. Other guys I like Julian Williams, who's in Frank's division. I like Brandon Rios. I like a guy like Brandon Rios.
Bam. Always
I love him.
Give you your money's worth.
Exactly. I like guys who, you know, I just like guys who bring it. And you know, look, let's be honest. Everybody fights for the money. Nobody's doing this for free. But there's certain guys you know have pride involved with it. I used to love Antonio Margarito. I know there was always some controversy with him. End of the day, he brought it.
Yes.
Miguel Cotto, same thing. So there's guys like, there's a lot of great action out there, and hopefully this sport can get to the point where what we had last week can be that for all these. I mean, there's no reason why Canelo can't do the numbers that Mayweather and them did. I think soon he'll get there. I really believe that. I think he's got that type of charisma, personality. If he can speak English a little bit, hopefully he's learning and could appeal to the English-speaking audience. I think the sky's the limit for him.
I agree. Now, Price Promotions. Where do you see Price Promotions at in the next 5 years? Where would you like to see your company at?
I truthfully mean when I say this. I am not looking to be Golden Boy, top rank. I really, can it happen? Maybe, sure, maybe. But my vision from day one, a few years ago, what my vision was, if I ever was going to be a promoter, was exactly what I'm doing now. I want to give young guys a chance, especially in the state. I guess my goal is twofold. I guess the first goal is to try to bring boxing up in this state. There's a lot of talent here, a
whole lot,
and nobody talks about it. I want to be I don't want to be the, I mean, I'm not the only one. I mean, I know that there's, I know the Rosas in New Haven have their
Boss Lady Promotion.
They're doing a great job. So I think we're at an interesting time in Connecticut boxing with a lot of things going on where we can really elevate these guys. And, my vision is, you know what? I just want, again, I don't see myself signing anybody. I really don't. I just see myself promoting the sport like the old ways, the old grassroots ways of promoting the sport. I want to really break the barrier between fan and boxer. We talked earlier off the record about how I think if people have a connection with something, they're more passionate about it. And we have to break the disconnect between the athlete and fan in terms of the sport of boxing. Does that, baseball, I always use an example. You can go to a baseball game early, catch batting practice, maybe even get some autographs, same thing. Basketball, football, same thing. Boxing, traditionally these guys come out, they fight, they leave.
They disappear.
Same thing with pre-fight events. They come, they'll do their media workout for show, and maybe on camera they'll sign 5 autographs. I've seen it personally, and they'll go. And that's okay. I know fight week, they're a little ornery, they're hungry, I know, but there has to be a responsibility from the boxer, from any athlete, to give back to the fans. And I think that I really am going to preach that with anyone who fights for me. I'm going to do a lot of pre-fight events. I want it to feel like a big deal. And again, that's really my goal, is just promote the sport of boxing, give guys opportunities that can't have it, and hopefully they springboard from me. I kind of want to be like, they come to me, they're not getting a second chance. For instance, Tremaine, perfect example. Not everyone's all of a sudden, afraid to touch him. He's a good kid, made a mistake. He comes and puts on a show. I mean, Tremaine is coming back against a kid 9-1. Okay, he's not coming back against a soft touch. He wins that fight and wins it handily. There's no reason why a promoter's not going to be.
I tell you, I truly believe that if he wins the fight, I wouldn't be surprised if Top Rank comes to scoop him up.
Absolutely, and I hope that happens. See, a lot of people think I'm crazy. They're like, why aren't you locking these kids down? I don't want to lock them down. I want to give them opportunity and springboard. I can't do certain things for these kids like a Golden Boy and Top Rank can do. So hopefully, if Golden Boy and Top Rank are a little teetering on a guy, and they see him on a show like mine or another small promoter, hopefully it springboards them.
Well, I think your approach is outstanding.
Thank you.
It's more of a blessing towards the the fighters who you represent, and like you said, you're that springboard, you're that stepping stone for them. You're marketing them, you're giving them exposure. I think it's just amazing, and you don't expect anything from them except for them to come into the ring and give a good fight.
It's funny when I've talked to a few guys, and I kind of tell them what I want to do, what I'm gonna pay them, what I'm gonna do for them. I'll make you some photos to sign. And it's weird, and it's kind of sad because it shows the way the sport is. They look at me kind of like, all right, well, what's in it for you? And when I look at them and tell them absolutely nothing's in it for me, it's almost like they don't believe me. And that's okay, because I have to prove myself to them. And I know in my heart what I'm going to do, but I have to prove it to them. And you know what? It's funny. Looking at it from their shoes, I can see why they would feel that way. What's in it for them? But for me, I'm doing this because I believe boxing can be great. I believe that the talent is here. And I believe unless someone steps up and does something different, it's just going to be the same status quo. So hopefully, the May 30th is just the start of some really, really major, big things for around here.
Excellent. And I know that for your May 30th event, you have a couple of things coming up. You're gonna have a press conference. You're gonna have a media day workout. You're gonna have your live weigh-in, and I believe it's all open to the general public.
Yeah. Next on Saturday, May 16th, we have open media day workout at my boxing gym I just opened in Danbury 2 months ago, Champs Boxing Club, 128 East Liberty Street, Unit H, 1 p.m. We'll have some food there. A majority of the guys will be there. I'm hoping to have a good media turnout. And fans are welcome. Come to the gym, check it out, get some autographs. Then the next week, May 23rd, we're actually having a meet and greet at First and 10 Sports Bar in New Milford, Connecticut, right outside of Danbury. Great sports bar. A couple of the boxers will be there to interact with the fans, take some pictures, autographs. Then Tuesday, May 26th, we have the official press conference at the Danbury Arena where the fights will be taking place, and that will be at 3 p.m. open to the public. Come down. And then, of course, we have the public weigh-in on 5 p.m. on the 29th, the Friday. And tickets will be for sale at all these events as well. So if you haven't got your tickets, you can come down to the events, meet the guys, grab some tickets, and you know what? It's gonna be a fun atmosphere.
Excellent. And again, you can go on to www.prizepromotions.net to get your tickets. Now, will tickets be available at the door the night of the fight?
Yeah. In a perfect world, they'd be sold out by then.
Yeah.
But they will be at the door.
We'll have standing room.
Yeah. Yeah, they will be at the door. We will have tickets available.
Again, boxing fans, you have 22 days, 4 hours, 59 minutes, and 51 seconds to go on to www.prizepromotions.net and get your tickets right now. Again, I want to thank you, AJ Galante, for coming to the studio. We thank you for your time, my brother. We wish you nothing but good luck and success come May 30th.
Thank you.
When your fight night goes down in Danbury, Connecticut.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm excited. The fans in Connecticut are excited. Everyone's talking about May 30th.
I'm excited too. It's gonna be an unbelievable night.
I agree with you. It's gonna be a great night, and we look forward. Super Elite Boxing News being there ringside, shooting pictures and getting some video footage of your event. Again, I encourage all the residents, throughout the state of Connecticut, you boxing fans, come out, show your support to our local talent, show your support to the fighters that are coming out of our own little area of the state of Connecticut. Again, come out, www.prizepromotions.net, get your tickets right now. Again, thank you for coming to the studio.
Appreciate it.
It's been a great night. Thank you for watching, and God bless.